interesting man. You know, I was in my second year of theater school, and I was watching him work, and they were trying to get a focus on the camera, and I've never seen this before. This is an old, experienced actor. He put his lighter up against his cheek, like this, so that they could come in and get a direct focus, and I was like, okay, lesson number 1. Acting 101. But he was very calm, very economical in his gestures, his movements, his dialogue, and I enjoyed just watching him and learning from him.
Some of you may not know, but when Don turned up on the set to start work on that picture, he was wearing his hair long, and I mean long, literally halfway down his back. And it was long, gray, salt and pepper hair. And what you saw in the picture was actually a wig. He would tie his long locks up. He's, I may be wrong on this, guys. My understanding is that Don is affiliated with a native nation back in Canada.
But he isn't actually himself, but he is affiliated, but he's not.
Yeah, no, he's not native himself, but he has a close affiliation with them. So he wears his hair in native Canadian style.
He kind of looks a lot like Willie Nelson.
Yeah, yeah. I saw Don about 2 months ago, actually. He came to the company I work for in Toronto to audition for a role, which he got. And he's currently acting for a colleague of mine, good friend of mine, who also works for the same company in Toronto. And he's an excellent singer, too. Do I have that right, guys?
Oh, yeah. Fine musician, excellent singer. And it was never, whenever there was not a camera on him, he never wore shoes. That's the other thing. And it was always like this perfect centered state of calm. Howard Nelson was going to talk very quietly. And he was always very cool.
He also does a lot of voiceover work, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He does.
We have one last question, right here.
Well, the most interesting thing about the mask in my second year at theater school, which we had to get permission to leave school to go do this film, and in the second year we were doing mask work, which was high Italian Commedia dell'arte mask work. And when they put the mask on me, at first it didn't have the black and eye pieces. And there's one scene, Killing Happy, where you can actually see my cheeks. And they didn't want that. And they said, well, let's just blacken your face. I said, well, that's not going to work. And so in the town that I grew up in, they did a lot of detailing on cars. I said, well, why don't we just get windshield tinting and just put it on the glass? And so I worked under purple haze through the whole film so that the camera couldn't see into my eyes. And the thing about being in the mask, and about one of the first questions is being down in the mine, it's very sequestered in there. And it's just like, if the director goes, cut, well, that wasn't very good, you can go, well, I didn't think it was all that bad. And you can mutter away at yourself and nobody would hear you. It was great.
A very similar experience for me. The mask that I was using had no ventilation. The air that I breathed out, I'd breathe in, and I'd do that over and over until they said cut, and it was a slice of hell. The lens is constantly fogged up, and we had the same experience. There was a black guy character in this story that was a suspect, the sheriff, and Jensen Ackles. And so they didn't want you to know who it was, so they were using me. And they were painting my eyes black, and they did a bit of the filtering of the lenses and stuff like that. And, you know, I'm throwing a real pickaxe or a fiberglass pickaxe at, like, you know, $1 million actresses' faces and stuff like that, and I can barely see them. So I measure them, and I go, okay, ready, action. And I just thought, you know, I might as well have my eyes closed. I couldn't see them anyway.
Glad I was in that movie.
But that's why they hired a stuntman, not the actor, because the actor they had hired said, I'm gonna need a stunt double for a lot of this stuff because I can't see out of the mask, and then they said, oh, we don't have the budget for that, so he lost the job and I got it. Usually the actors take my job, and this time I won.
That's right.
Okay, we're going to ask the group to stand together, and then we're going to take photos like a group shot.